That would be a problem. Good morning, everyone. I'm David Muircroft from Fosroc, and I'm going to talk to you about, I'll give you a little bit of an insight into our experiences with HS2. Maybe. There we go. Before I get in, just a quick overview on who Fosroc are for those that don't know in the room. We're a chemical manufacturer. We've been established as Fosroc International from 1972. Realistically, we've been in some guise or other for about 80 years now. We manufacture around the world. We have employees, about 1,900 employees around the world. We're about 125 in the UK. We obviously cover off key product sectors like waterproofing, but we also look after concrete repair, admixtures, sealants, and different areas like that. Now, why am I here today? I look after the national team. And about 5 years ago, when I joined the business, we decided to set up this team to look after the projects and give us a bit of the larger projects in the country and give us a bit of flexibility to go and take our time, look at these the projects that are a bit different, that are a bit more in-depth than where we usually would be. Realistically, Craig Harum, up in the picture there, he started about a year before me. And the story goes that he walked into Tamworth on his first day and he got handed a post-it note to go to a meeting about HS2. Didn't know anything about it, and that's where our story really starts. So today I'm going to try and cover off our experience, give you a bit of an insight into it, and see how it's influenced our business. The initial idea of this presentation was to go into a bit of detail about a specific project, a specific area that we're working, a specific type of waterproofing, but realistically, that was probably going to take too long. I could have come up here and showed pictures of tunnels, different pictures of vent shafts, and any real detail of what we've been doing over the last few years. But realistically, all our involvement with the design teams, the procurement, the marketing of HS2, everything that we've looked at in all the southern sections of the project, everything that we've done through the central belt with the green tunnels, etc. It would have been too long. I could have picked any one of them and spent an hour talking about them up here. So realistically, I stole an idea for James. He gave us an idea of just giving us an overview and some insight and asking some questions about the project and about people's views, maybe getting you guys to think about it in a different way. The timeline for our project, you can see up there, this gives you an idea of how long we've been dealing with it. We've been dealing with it since 2018, and every point on the screen there, not that you need to read them all because they won't mean anything to you, but that's been a different aspect of the job that we've had to deal with. It's taken some of the team to Munich for presentations. We've done presentations in Paris. Realistically, we've been to Spain and Germany, all to do with this project. It just shows a bit of the commitment that Fosroc have been able to put towards this project moving forward. So the idea that James gave us was to ask maybe a few questions, to look at the project in a different way. So how did we approach it as a business? We had to ask ourselves a question: was it worth it? Is it worth getting involved? Now, there's a million different ways that you can measure that as a business with monetary values and different things like that. Realistically, we started asking ourselves some questions. Would it give us a legacy? Would it help us secure a legacy as a business? Realistically, we've already said it, it's the biggest infrastructure project in Europe. You've got to think that it would. Did we have the resources to manage a project of this size? At the time, we probably didn't. Now, we've built the team, we've changed things, we've had to review on a regular basis what resources we need. But on the whole, that's why I'm here, that's my team. So, yes. And in the long run, will it improve our business? Will working on a project like this take away from other things that we're doing? Will it give us the chance to improve, or will it be have a detrimental effect to us? This last question is key. As a business, we look to improve all the time, as would all of yous. So there's different ways of looking at it. How has it helped our business improve? The commitment that we've had to put into this project, and the understanding that we've had to gather, and the learning that we've had to have from every aspect, from the simple things of delivering a roll of membrane to site on some of the idea and some of this, to the in-depth part of waterproofing a 65-metre deep hole in the ground. There's loads of improvements through our business. I must admit, it's one of the most interesting things that I've ever been involved in. And as a business, we keep growing and improving every day because of it. So, where did the technical side of it come? What does it look like for us? In this room, we're all used to dealing with BS 8102 and looking at technical documents. We've already been talking about it already this morning. But realistically, this project is like nothing we've ever seen before. The first waterproofing spec that I got off this was 300 pages long, solely about waterproofing, and that was one small part of the overall specification for what we were looking at. As you can imagine, the technical team really loved me that day. But realistically, we've had to include European tunnelling standards, British tunnelling standards, EN and BS standards through this process. And the other massive part of it is HS2 have got their own standards. They've got engineers who are not making up, but looking at and putting together specifications based on their knowledge, based on what their understanding of products are, whether that's right or wrong. It's been a phenomenal undertaking for all of us, and as I've said several times, a massive learning curve for us. As part of this process, we decided a few years ago to work in collaboration with one of the subcontractors at the time and take it to the next step. We had engineers talking to us on a daily basis about waterproofing this and waterproofing that, but there was no real understanding of the scope that was involved with it. So we went with, as I said, the subcontractor at the time, and we basically built a mock-up in the back at Tamworth at our head office. This gave us the opportunity to go into so much more detail. It was completely different than anything we'd done before. We managed to get 30 engineers for HS2 on site, looking at it, looking at membranes, looking at repairs, looking at the way that this was going to be built. This actually gave them a better understanding of how they were actually going to process the project. To give you an idea of the scale of it, and this was a bit of a shock to most of the people that were in the room at the time, that gives you an idea of the scale that we're talking about here. It was just different class compared to anything that we had done before. And it was probably one of the best things that we've done. It started the collaboration 4 years ago, I think it was now, on one of the projects that has just went from strength to strength. There's been innovation involved in changing designs, but it's never been a bad process. It's been something that's been really interesting to be involved in. One of the things that did come out of this meeting that we had and all the information that was gathered at the time was how important sustainability was becoming as part of their decisions. The questions we were getting asked it was just questions that we had never really been asked before, and it all leads back to here. HS2 sustainability message. They want to build, as it says, a zero carbon rail network in the UK. That's their aim. And there's loads of information behind it. They've put a lot of thought, a lot of work into it. As you can see there, they're looking to have zero carbon for all the trains, stations, depots, everything that's involved with this. Now, we probably all sat here in the past and sustainability has been mentioned, and sustainability was one of the things that were talked on a tender document, and you tick a box to say that you've got that. That's probably in the past now, or not probably, it definitely is. I've heard comments that sustainability is a fad. It's not. It's a massive part of this industry now, and that's where I see HS2 having a massive impact in Fosroc. That's what one of the lasting things will be from us. Some of the sustainability processes that we've been through include looking at our manufacturing. We are ISO 14001 as a manufacturing facility, and we have been for a long time. That was always, for me personally, it was a bit of a sales tool. It was ticking a box and a thing, and some critics might say sustainability is still a sales tool, but I think it's a bit different now. We've moved on, and HS2 has pushed us to look at things like EPDs in a much more detail. From this, we can measure the carbon in every product that we manufacture. Not every one yet, but we're getting there. But it gives us a much better idea when we're talking to people what impact we're going to have in their built environment and what they can add into their processes as well. We're looking at different initiatives. Carbon offsetting is one of the biggest things that people have looked at. Basically, every pallet of something you sell, you plant X amount of trees. Sounds like a gimmick, but when you look into the detail behind it, it's a fantastic resource, and it's a fantastic thing that we should be involved in. We've got several different opportunities at the moment around the world, not just in the UK, to use these. But the biggest thing for me, and the biggest difference it's going to make to us as a business and us as an industry, the next guidance document that's out is PAS 2080. This document gives us the direction that we need when it comes to sustainability. It's designed to tell you how to process, how to move forward, and how to get your business into a more sustainable space as such. PAS 2080 is probably going to be along with the other conversations that we've had this morning, it's going to be one of the biggest effects, especially in manufacturers and the designers are a massive part of it. So let's look at the questions, where we've been, what I've covered off. These are the questions we asked ourselves. Will it give us a lasting legacy? I think sustainability will be our lasting legacy from HS2. It will be great to stand up here in a few years' time and talk in detail about the tunnels and the vent shafts and everything else. But realistically, the sustainability is the legacy that I think is going to be the most important one. Did we have the resource? We've covered that. Yes, we think we did. And will it improve our business? The technical standards that we've had to deal with in this, there's no doubt about it. But I've got some questions for you guys. Realistically, could HS2 be part of your business legacy? Do you currently have the resources? Do you think you could manage a project of this size? Would you want to be involved? And could it improve your business? These are all questions that we should all be asking each other on a daily basis, not just about HS2, but about in general and the way we work. For me, the final question, as I've mentioned, but realistically, will sustainability be part of your business legacy? I think that's got to be the most important thing that we ask each other today. Going aside with some of the other presentations that are there, but that's one thing that I would hope everybody could walk away today looking at this, looking at PAS 2080. I think it's a massive improvement on where we've been before, and it will help moving the industry forward. All right, it's me.